What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. Not that I have the largest channel in the world by any means, but most of my channel is to do with hiking, and most of those people have come more recent. I did start this channel about a year ago, and the beginning of it typically was more about my grief process. If you are new here and you don't follow me on Instagram, just kind of my backstory about myself is my husband did pass away 3.5 years ago, kind of right in front of me. It was very traumatic. And since then, I have hiked a lot. That's not to say I wasn't hiking before. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so I did grow up hiking. But after he passed away, I found hiking very, very therapeutic. And that is why today I am coming to you and just talking to you a little bit about why I hike. Maybe this will kind of bring something and make you realize that you want to be hiking, or maybe you hike and it's something just that can be related to you. So that's just why I'm here, kind of doing this sit down video. And at the end, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite pictures of myself hiking all around the world. So the first reason is just that. I find it extremely therapeutic. I think I can remember I had been traveling through Western Europe, I would say about 3 years ago, and then just under 3 years ago, and then I ended up going to then kind of more Eastern Europe, and I was in Slovenia, and I kind of just wanted to get into the mountains. I really wasn't. I was more in the cities in Western Europe, and I really wanted to. I was probably eating way too much, I don't know, whatever they have there, bread and stuff. And I went into the mountains, and I ended up just kind of asking at the hostel, like what would be like a really good hike close by. And they told me one that they would highly recommend. And it was 9 hours. And I forever probably will remember this day, because it not only made me feel like fall in love with hiking, but it just made me very, very happy overall. It was like this 9 hour hike I had to get from like A, and then it ended over here in B, and then I had to figure out how to take the bus all the way back. And I was just very proud of myself that I did that, and didn't even have like great hiking shoes or anything like that. So it was just a really fun, awesome, great experience. And I know a lot of people that hike, you know, especially if you hike by yourself, you're just kind of in your own thoughts. And the good thing about is when you're hiking, kind of the endorphins are kicking in, so they don't end up being like negative self-talk. It ends up being positive self-talk. It ends up being like, I felt just very proud of myself, like I said, in that moment. And I just felt like it was just beautiful sights. I got beautiful, you know, blue skies. These lakes were incredible that I was seeing, and I just really, really enjoyed myself. And that's why the number one thing I say, it's extremely therapeutic. So if you don't do it already, or if you're scared to honestly go out by yourself, I almost always am by myself when I go hiking. I even like camp by myself. Just be smart about it, and I will even link below about solo female hiking. But I will say, especially if you're going through anything in your life, if you're going through grief, I highly recommend hiking. The second reason is because it allows you to see a new area of the world. When I'm traveling, even when I'm, you know, here in Arizona, there's just different, you know, I could be up in Flagstaff. I don't know where you guys live in the world, but Flagstaff is just all of a sudden trees. It's so much cooler. You can come down to, you know, Phoenix 2 hours south, and all of a sudden you're completely with cactus. It just allows you to see so many different areas. When I'm traveling abroad, you know, like I'm saying, I'm probably eating a lot of dough and stuff like that. So it just allows you to get that exercise out there and see those beautiful new sights. You know, I've been to all over South America. I've been a lot of Asia, definitely all over North America, and it's just allowed me, there's just so many different terrain in the world, and that's just been so cool for me to experience and to be able to see. If you can relate to any of these reasons so far, or you want to share with me yours, I would love to hear it. So just comment it below and I will be reading it. The third reason, and I've kind of touched on it, is just that it allows you to get some exercise. So if you are someone who you don't really like running, or you're just kind of looking for a new hobby that isn't too competitive, you know, I came from like athletics as my background, and I kind of just needed like a mental break from being so competitive, and that's kind of where hiking's come in. And it's been so great because it's still very athletic in my eyes, but it's not as competitive. You know, if you're not someone who likes to go into the gym, you're able to get outside when you're going hiking, and that's just a wonderful thing. So that's one of my reasons for enjoying hiking. It just gets you outside, it gets you out and getting exercise, and that's just great. My next reason is probably one of my biggest ones, and it actually really helps my mental health. And I think this is quite common, and I know I deal with a lot of anxiety. since my husband's passed away, it's just something that I deal with on a very regular basis. But for some reason, when I'm in the mountains, I don't get anxiety. So it's just something that's good, leading up to it, getting excited for that hike. I'm able to just kind of get excited, and it makes that anxiety go away. When I'm in the mountains, then I really don't seem to have anxiety. So it's just a great place to kind of unwind and be good for your mental health. And that's one of the reasons why I would very highly recommend it. I find myself a very goal-oriented person, and that's why this next reason is so near and dear to my heart. I love goals. One of my goals coming up, so make sure you subscribe, is to knock off the highest peak in all 50 states. Right now I'm at like 6, but I haven't done the East Coast, which I feel like is going to be a lot easier. So I am hoping in about a month to head to the East Coast and do a big road trip and knock some of those off. So that's just one of my goals, and that kind of keeps me motivated and keeps me excited for the hikes. And like if you followed me last year, I conquered Aconcagua, which is the tallest peak in South America. I actually had tried it the year before, but we weren't able to summit the final day due to weather. So in my head, like Aconcagua was just this huge motivation. It was the reason I loved training. Not that I didn't love training, but it was just this huge motivation. If I didn't really feel like training that day, it was just like, I'm for sure going to train. I want that summit. And that happened for like over a year and a half. So that was just this big goal, and I ended up summiting December of this past year. So if you are a goal-oriented person like myself, or if you're just looking for a good goal, even you don't need to do the tallest peak in all 50 states, just whatever's in your own state. If you've always wanted to, say, if you're here in Phoenix, if you've always wanted to climb Camelback, if you've always wanted to do this one, leading up to it, there's so much preparation. So I highly recommend having some sort of goal, having some sort of mountain out there, and it will make you feel very, very achieved. The final reason is going to kind of bring this whole video full circle, and this is going to be extremely personal, is when my husband passed away, I did not know where to spread his ashes, and I knew that he loved the outdoors. We didn't do as much outdoors stuff as I do now, but he still just really loved the mountains. So at the tallest, not at every single peak or anything like that, but at the tallest peaks in like very specific areas, and ones that I know he would love, I spread his ashes. So I don't spread too many because I've probably put them in over 40 places around the world now, but just places that I know he really loved and he wanted to visit, or places that I know he would love the top and that summit of that mountain, or the 7 wonders of the world, stuff like that. They are there. So that's just been a very cool and therapeutic, like I'm going back to therapy, experience for me. And it's just like a really nice way of me being able to kind of still show him the world, but also, I don't know, it's just been like really nice for me. And I think he would really like that. Not everyone's going through grief, but everyone for the most part is going through something. That's why I'm a huge advocate of smile at everyone as you're passing them. You just never know what they're going through in that moment. So make sure you smile at people, first of all. But second of all, if you do have someone who is going through something similar, or just going through something and you think hiking might help them in their life, make sure you share this video with them, and I hope it does help them. I'm going to do a quick slideshow of some of my favorite kind of moments and places all around the world for you right now after this video, but I will sign off here, and I hope you guys enjoy your hikes. Hope you get out there and keep living life. Bye.